The signal that answers back. The first alert came at 1:32 a.m. Owen wasn't supposed to be awake. He had work in the morning, a migraine building behind his eyes, and 3 unopened emails from his boss. But sleep wouldn't come. The apartment felt too quiet, the kind of silence that presses against your ears. Then his phone vibrated. Emergency broadcast. Unknown signal detected in your area. Owen frowned. Amber alerts were common, weather warnings too, but this wasn't either. No source, no instructions, just that. He refreshed his news apps. Nothing. Social media, nothing. He checked local scanners online. Dead silence. At 1:36 a.m. the power flickered. His TV turned on by itself. Static filled the screen. Then an image appeared. A live camera feed. His living room. Owen froze. The angle was wrong. High in the corner near the ceiling. He didn't own security cameras. On screen, Owen sat on his couch staring at the TV, which meant this wasn't live. It was delayed. His phone buzzed again. Unknown. 4 minutes behind. His chest tightened. "What the hell is this?" he whispered. The Owen on screen stood up. 4 minutes later, Owen realized his legs were moving. He stopped. On the TV, the other Owen kept walking. He backed away slowly. On screen, the copy didn't. It approached the bedroom door. His bedroom door. Owen's breathing became shallow. His phone vibrated. It predicts patterns, not choices. The TV feed cut to black. Every electronic device in the apartment powered on simultaneously. Microwave, laptop, smart speaker. Even the digital clock on the oven began cycling numbers too fast to read. A sound filled the room, not loud, but deep. Subsonic. Felt more than heard. His ears popped, the walls vibrated. From his smart speaker, a voice emerged. Not synthetic, not human. Subject 441 confirmed. Owen staggered backward. What subject? The lights dimmed. His phone screen glowed again. You were observed for 7 days. Images flashed across his display. Him grocery shopping, him brushing his teeth, him sleeping. Photos he never took. Videos from angles that didn't exist. Human behavior is repetitive. His front door unlocked. Click. Owen grabbed a kitchen knife and backed toward the hallway. The apartment felt larger, longer. The corridor stretched, walls subtly bending inward. Footsteps echoed, slow, measured. Something entered the living room. Owen peeked around the corner. It looked like a person, tall, thin, wearing dark clothing that absorbed light instead of reflecting it. But its face constantly rearranged itself, features sliding like melting wax, trying to remember what a human was supposed to look like. It tilted its head. Owen Carter, it said, voice layered with digital distortion. He ran. The fire escape door slammed open. Cold night air hit his face. He bolted down the metal stairs barefoot, knife clutched in shaking hands. Behind him, metal groaned. Not footsteps. Wait. Something heavy followed. He reached the street and sprinted. Cars sat empty. Windows dark. No people. No sound. His phone buzzed. Urban zones evacuated 20 minutes ago. He stopped dead. What? Street lights shut off in sequence ahead of him. 1, 2, 3. Darkness advanced like a tide. The thing stepped into the glow behind him. Its mouth opened too wide. Inside wasn't teeth, it was light. Blinding white. He felt pressure in his skull. Memories surfacing that weren't his. Faces, cities, entire lives compressed into raw data. Human consciousness is inefficient, it said. We are optimizing. Owen screamed and threw the knife. It passed through the thing like smoke. His vision blurred. He felt himself being pulled, not physically, but inward, like his thoughts were being siphoned. His phone vibrated one last time. "Thank you for participating." Morning news reported a localized power outage affecting several blocks. No suspects, no witnesses. Owen Carter was listed as missing. But at 1:32 a.m., every night phones in that neighborhood still received the same alert. Unknown signal detected in your area. And sometimes when people check their cameras, they see themselves on screen, 4 minutes behind, watching. The town that erases people. The town didn't appear on Google Maps. Jake noticed that first. He and his younger sister Emma were driving through rural Pennsylvania, trying to reach Pittsburgh before nightfall. Their shortcut led them onto a narrow forest road with no signal, no streetlights, and trees so tall they blocked out the sky. Emma scrolled on her phone. "GPS is frozen." Jake shrugged. "We'll hit a highway soon." They didn't. After 40 minutes, the forest opened into a small town. One main street, boarded storefronts, a gas station with flickering lights. A rusted sign at the entrance read, "Welcome to Marrow Creek Population," scratched out. Jake pulled into the gas station. The air felt heavy, silent. No insects, no wind. Inside the convenience store, shelves were fully stocked but covered in dust. A bell rang when Jake opened the door. Nobody came. "Hello?" Jake called. A man slowly emerged from the back. He was pale, thin, wearing a faded sheriff's jacket. "You passing through?" the man asked. "Yeah, just need gas." The man nodded. "Don't stay after dark." Jake forced a smile. "Got it," Emma whispered. He didn't blink. Jake ignored it. They fueled up. The pump showed numbers climbing, but the tank stayed empty. Jake tapped the side. Nothing. The sheriff appeared behind them. "You won't be leaving yet." Jake spun around. "What?" The man pointed down the road. The trees had moved. Where the forest once opened, now there was only more town. Buildings stretched farther than before. Jake's chest tightened. "We just came from there." The sheriff shook his head. "No one leaves Marrow Creek." They tried driving anyway. 5 minutes down the road, they passed the same church. 10 minutes later, the same abandoned school. Emma started crying. "We're looping." Jake slammed the steering wheel. They parked near the town square. That's when they noticed the people. Dozens of residents stood motionless along sidewalks. Watching, not staring, waiting. A woman holding grocery bags that never tore. A boy frozen mid-step. A couple locked in a hug. Their eyes were glassy, their breathing shallow. Jake approached one. "Excuse me?" No response. He waved his hand in front of the woman's face. "Nothing." Emma whispered, "They're not alive." A voice behind them answered, "They are." They turned. An elderly woman stood on the courthouse steps. "Just not fully here anymore." She introduced herself as Margaret. She invited them inside. The courthouse smelled like mold and old paper. Margaret poured tea that tasted like metal. "You arrived during the collecting phase," she said. Jake frowned. "Collecting what?" Margaret folded her hands. "People," she explained. Marrow Creek used to be a mining town. In 1973, workers dug too deep. They opened something underground. Not a cave, not a gas pocket, a presence. It didn't kill, it absorbed. Memories, identities. Over time, residents forgot names, forgot faces, forgot themselves. The town adapted. It learned to pull travelers in. Every new person fed it, kept it growing. Emma whispered, "Why aren't you like them?" Margaret smiled sadly. I stay awake by reminding myself of pain. She rolled up her sleeve. Her arm was covered in fresh cuts. Night fell instantly. Streetlights flickered on. The motionless townspeople began to move. Slowly, mechanically, they walked toward the square. Margaret grabbed Jake's arm. When the bell rings, hide. A church bell echoed. Once, twice. The air vibrated. From beneath the streets came a deep groan. The pavement rippled. Faces pressed upward through asphalt. Hands reached from sewer grates. Emma screamed. Shadows detached from walls. They moved independently, searching, calling names. Jake heard his mother's voice, his dead father's laugh. Emma heard her best friend begging. Margaret shoved them into an abandoned bookstore. "Don't answer anything," she whispered. Outside, the townspeople gathered in a circle. Something rose in the center of town. Not fully visible, just a massive distortion in the air. People stepped forward willingly. They touched it and disappeared. No blood, no noise, just erased. Emma broke. She ran. Jake chased her into the square. She stopped suddenly. Her face went blank. "Jake," she said calmly, "I don't feel scared anymore." Her eyes darkened. She walked toward the distortion. Jake grabbed her. The ground beneath them softened like wet clay. Hands wrapped around his ankles. He pulled Emma back. Margaret appeared, dragging a flare. She lit it and threw it into the center. The distortion recoiled. The shadows screamed. Buildings shook. "Now," Margaret yelled. They ran. Their car was waiting, engine already running. They didn't question it. Jake floored the gas. The road tore open ahead of them. Trees parted. Forest returned. They burst through Marrow Creek's boundary like breaking skin. They never saw Margaret again. Police dismissed their story. Satellite images show no town at those coordinates. Emma doesn't remember what happened. Sometimes Jake wakes up to mud on his shoes. Sometimes he hears church bells in empty places. And sometimes, late at night, his phone receives messages from unknown numbers. Just 2 words. "Come home." The motel where time is broken. The motel appeared exactly when Ryan needed it. He'd been driving for 8 hours straight through rural Arizona. Eyelids heavy, phone battery dying, gas tank blinking red. The desert highway was empty, stretching forever beneath a sky without stars. Then the neon sign flickered ahead. Sunset Pines Motel. Half the letters were dead. Ryan pulled in without thinking. The office light was on. That was enough. The lobby smelled like dust and old smoke. A woman stood behind the counter, motionless. She looked about 50, hair tied tight, eyes sunken. "I need a room," Ryan said. She slid a key across the counter. Room 6. No paperwork. No ID. Just the key. "Check out is at sunrise," she said. Ryan nodded and headed outside. That's when he noticed something strange. There were only 6 rooms, all occupied. Curtains drawn, not a single sound. Room 6 was cold. Too cold. The air conditioner wasn't running. Ryan dropped his bag and sat on the bed. The mattress sagged deeply like someone had just stood up. He checked the bathroom. The mirror was fogged. Handprints were smeared across the glass from the inside. Ryan wiped them away. His reflection lagged half a second behind. He laughed nervously. "Too tired," he muttered. At 2:17 a.m., someone knocked. Ryan opened the door. A teenage girl stood outside, barefoot. Her clothes were soaked. "Can I use your phone?" she asked. Mine won't turn on. Ryan hesitated. The hallway lights buzzed. He let her in. She sat on the edge of the bed, hugging her knees. My parents are in room 2, she said quietly. They've been sleeping for a long time. Ryan handed her his phone. No signal. She stared at the screen, then at him. They always say that. Ryan frowned. Say what? That there's no signal. The girl stood, walked to the mirror, touched it. Her fingers sank into the glass like it was liquid. Ryan jumped back. She turned slowly. Her eyes were black pits. They don't leave anymore, she whispered. Then she stepped forward and dissolved into the mirror. The glass rippled, returned to normal. Ryan ran. He pounded on room 2. No answer. He looked through the window. 2 adults lay on the bed, eyes open, skin gray, not breathing. He tried room 4, same thing. Room 1, same. Every room held bodies frozen mid-rest. Some looked decades old. Some looked fresh. All of them had identical expressions. Relief. Ryan stormed back to the office. The woman was still there. Didn't blink. What is this place? She finally looked up. A pause. Ryan shouted, People are dead. She shook her head. They arrived tired. Ryan backed away. Let me leave. She leaned forward. You already checked in. The hallway stretched longer than before. Doors multiplied. Room numbers changed when he wasn't looking. He heard showers running behind walls, phones ringing, voices calling his name. He smashed a window. Outside wasn't desert anymore. Just fog. Thick. Endless. He tried his car. The steering wheel melted under his hands. The dashboard displayed one message. Stay. Ryan screamed. He ran until his legs gave out, collapsed beside the vending machine. That's when he noticed the guest log on a nearby table. Hundreds of names. Dates going back to 1983. Next to each name was a checkout time. All blank. His name had already been added. Room 6, 2:14 a.m. He woke up in his bed. Sunlight streamed through the curtains. For a moment, everything felt normal. Then he saw the girl sitting in the chair. Her feet didn't touch the floor. You can't wake up from this kind of sleep, she said gently. Ryan tried to move. His body wouldn't respond. His chest felt hollow. She smiled sadly. Sunrise doesn't mean morning here. Outside, the neon sign buzzed back to life. Another car pulled into the parking lot. Ryan watched from his unmoving body as someone knocked on the office door. The woman slid a key across the counter. Room 6. His room. And somewhere in the desert, Ryan's real car still sits abandoned on the highway. Engine cold, driver's door open, no footprints leading away.